Hi, my name is Brooke Woznicki. I'm a mom of 3. With my last pregnancy, my water broke at 20 weeks. At that point, we really weren't sure if the baby would survive, but we did manage to make it 3 more weeks. Okay. Cut. Hi, my name is Brooke Woznicki. I'm a mom of 3. With my last pregnancy, my water broke at 20 weeks. We were given the option to terminate the pregnancy, but when we chose not to, we were sent home to just let nature take its course. Fortunately for us, we were able to make it on our own for another 3 weeks, in which time then we were referred to Hartford Hospital. They took us in and put me on 24/7 monitoring, where I made it to another 24 weeks and 5 days. So for us, making it to the NICU was a huge accomplishment. We were very excited to have made it to a viable age. However, once you get into the NICU and you see your baby, it is emotionally jarring to go from being their only life support to really not being able to touch them. So I could not wait to hold her again. We had been through so much. At the time, we needed to wait till central lines were replaced, which were about 10 days. If the NICU was really busy, which it was for us, there were 8 other micro preemies born that week. We did end up waiting 12 days before we could have our first hold. But I remember every single sensation of that hold. It was amazing, the coordination of people it took to get this little 1-pound baby out of the isolette and onto my chest, and placing all the tubes and wires so that we could sit together. But it was an amazing, emotional roller coaster. I'll just never forget to the day I die. Pretty quickly, we were holding for long periods of time. She loved being held. Everything worked better for her. Her breathing, her heart rate, her temperature, we were doing great together until a tiny drop of water got her from her ET tube and it just shut her down and she turned gray. And they quickly had to whisk her out of my arms. They thought at the time that she had inadvertently extubated. So it took a lot to replace her ET tube, and it was very dramatic. So it terrified me. I really questioned whether or not holding was the best thing for her. But after a day of rest, the nurse encouraged me to resume our holding schedule again. I was so afraid. I didn't even want the nurse to leave our side. It took a lot of reassurance from her that, this happens. It wasn't anything that I had done to her. Babies have good days and bad days, and, a drip of water is just not something we're able to always control, but there's a plan in place and they will take care of her. But it was really more important that she continued to get that one-on-one time with me. So we were resuming our holds again, got more comfortable, especially as her breathing support changed. It became much easier to hold. And after a couple months, I did need to return back to work, at which point my husband was a stay-at-home dad. He had been taking care of our other children at home while I spent every day up at the NICU with Morgan. It had occurred to us, though, that we had never asked Dad to hold the babies, so it was really going to be a learning curve for him. He had not ever been comfortable with our babies when they were little. They were very squirmy. He was very big. He was always afraid of dropping them. But having this little baby on his chest in that big comfy chair, it was the perfect job for him. He ended up loving it. He looked forward to it every day. He would come up for the afternoon, and they would sit, and it was really a wonderful bonding time for the two of them. So it ended up being a really positive experience. Once we got home and settled, that I started joining some NICU support groups, and there is where I had learned that there were several mothers who didn't get to hold their babies for months because their NICU really didn't believe in it. And I could only imagine how helpless those mothers felt not getting to be that source of comfort for their babies. So I am just so grateful to be with a NICU that not only embraces and supports early holding of the babies, but really seeks to improve the experience and access the families get to have with those babies. So from the bottom of our heart, thank you for all the hard work you are doing.